So, dear students, we have already seen that matter exists in three major forms. They are solid, liquid and gas. Now, let us proceed further. Solids. You can see the diagram I have drawn, a general diagram, where you can see all particles are very near to each other. Right? So, what are solids? Solids are a state of matter which have tightly packed particles. You can see tightly packed particles. As they are tightly packed, the space between them is very less, negligible. So they have strong attractive intermolecular force. All these molecules are very near to each other. So their force of attraction is very strong. They have definite shape because of the tightly packed particles. Particles are very close to each other, so they give a very perfect shape to the substance. So we can say solids have definite shape, and as they consist definite shape, they occupy definite space, so they have definite volume. Definite space, shape and definite volume. As per the example, wood, stone, chalk, sponge, etc. are solids. Right? Now let us see some speciality about the solids, which we can say properties of solids. When we say properties, that means the solids hold rigidity. They are rigid, incompressible and distinct boundaries. When I say rigid, it means they are very hard. See, I have a wooden scale in my hand. If I want to just break it, it's not easy for me to break. It is rigid, very hard. I have a duster. You see, wooden piece. It is also very hard. It's not easy to break it, and it's not easy that it is changing its shape. The second is incompressible. So if I press it holding in my hands, it is not compressed. Pressure is not taking place between it. So, but there is an exceptional case. You see here, I have a sponge in my hand. If you see sponge, it has its boundary. You can see its shape. But what happens here? Incompressible. Solids are incompressible, but sponge is exceptional, because when I will allow a pressure, you see it's compressed. Right? Though it is compressible, it is considered solid because it is regaining its shape back. Why it is compressible? Because it is a porous material. It has holes, very minute, tiny holes in it. So, when we compress it, the air which is present in it, the air which is trapped in it, will expel out, will come out, and it is compressible. You can see here I have taken different objects. Ruler, duster, we can identify pen, we can identify spoon, we can identify a piece of chalk, we can identify a rubber band, this sponge, a plate, glasses, and a table itself. They all have their own respective boundaries, so we can identify them as a shape. That means solids have definite shapes and they are occupying a definite space. That is, they have a definite volume. Right? So now next, solids maintain shape when external force is applied to it. As I have shown in sponge, you can see here, this is a rubber band. You can see it has a fixed boundary. Shape is fixed. It occupies some space. So it is a solid matter, but now external force is applied to it. You can see here. It changes shape, but as soon as the force is removed, you see it regains, it maintains its original shape back. So this is also one of the property of the solid. Next, solids are brittle. They have a brittleness. What is brittle? When external force is applied to a substance or substance falls down, it may break down, but then also it is solid because it withstands its shape. If we say solid or hard, then if we here say brittle, then it breaks. This is a piece of chalk. If I apply an external force to it, it will break. First I told solid is hard. It is not easy to break, but here, due to its property of brittleness, you can see it is broken, but it will not leave its shape, or it will not leave away its fixed boundary. So even the smaller piece also we will see, it will come out with a fixed boundary. If the glass falls from our hand, and glass also, if falls and if it breaks, then if we will take the broken pieces, each piece or a small crystal piece also will have its own fixed shape and boundary. This is one more property. Here one more is there. Solid undergoes no diffusion or somewhere very slow diffusion. No diffusion. Some of the solids, even we pour it in the water, they will not mix by their own, or even on stirring also. That means it does not undergo any diffusion, and some undergoes a slow diffusion. Please pay attention here. I have taken a teaspoonful of a tuar dal, pigeon peas dal, and I am adding it to a water. And in another glass, I am taking a crystal sugar, and even I am adding it to water. Now, we will have to see whether diffusion takes place or not. We will have to wait for a while. By the time, let me discuss another property. The next property is high density. Solids have high density. Density, what is the density? It is again one physical quantity. It means the ratio of mass by volume of the respective substance. Solids have very high density, and so if they are allowed to fall in the water, in the liquid, they will sink because of their density. Compared to solid, the liquid has less density. But again, there is one exception case for ice. Ice being solid form of water, its density is lesser than the water. So, when we put ice on water, it will float. This is one exception case, right? So, density of solids is higher than the liquids. Now let us see here. You can see here. We can see that the tuar dal, pigeon peas dal which is there, it is as I have added. It means no diffusion has taken place. Solid does not undergo diffusion. Most solid does not undergo diffusion, but here if we can see, here you can see slower diffusion has taken place. Even if you will taste this water, it will taste little sweet, which will give us idea that some of the solid, they undergo slow diffusion.